Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to this month's Releasing the Real You show, where we cover all kinds of topics that relate to health and well-being. And today I have a very special guest with me, Vicki Sharp, who's an award-winning photographer from Richmond, which is located in South London, for those that don't know. And today we are going to have a chat about photography, but it's probably a topic where lots of women I know, lots of my clients say, oh, I hate seeing myself in pictures. And to be honest, I used to be like that as well. I sometimes still very critical about myself as well. So warm welcome.
Thank you very much. And I'd just like to say, 99% of people hate having their photos taken, including me. So yes.
So tell us a little bit more about what you do, but also how you got started doing what you're doing, because I know you haven't been doing photography for all your life. So
no. So I came to photography at after the birth of my second son. Previous to that, I was in film and television for about 20 years. I'm just sorry, my dog's I'm just going to open the door.
That's the whole thing about doing things live.
I have a dog, obviously, that's the thing. So yes, I was in film and television. I was started that in special effects and production, and had a really fun, interesting, exciting career in film and TV for 20 years. And then second son came along. This is the first one. Second one came along, and film sets are not places that you can either leave during a shoot. If there's something, no emergency, you can't just leave. And also it's just full on 6-day week, 16-hour days, and it's just not child friendly, and it's not parent friendly particularly. So I decided to leave with a heavy heart because I loved it. Mm-hmm. And then a few years on, about 3 years into my second child, I suddenly thought, I need to do something. And a friend of mine, turned out she was a graphic designer. She also needed to reinvent herself. And we started talking photography, and we both loved photography. And it was something I'd done in my, not at university, but at university I'd done photography as on the side, and I'd actually won a competition at uni. And so that really stimulated me to go, oh yeah, you're not so bad, And she was very good, particularly technically. And we set up a little business together, the two of us. So I think, when you're a woman starting, you hit a certain time when you need to change things. And reinvention is a difficult one, because you think, oh yes, right, what can I do now? And finding something, a whole new job, I think is a very, very difficult thing, and a very difficult time. I was just really lucky. Sally and I decided to set up this little business together, photographing children's parties. A bit like a wedding. You photograph all the children at a party, and you give them they all have cards. Their thank you card was with their picture on, which was lovely. So each child at the party had a thank you card with them at the party, and then an album. And that worked really, really well. We really enjoyed that, and it got us both back in the game, and buying proper cameras and technically sharing that adventure together, and which totally gave us both the confidence, because I think confidence is a massive issue. And I think something we'll probably talk about, which is confidence in how you are behind the camera for me, but it was confidence in starting again for women, particularly, I mean, obviously men too, but particularly I think women after having children, or changing career time. And so I was very lucky. I started that way. Sally and I are still very good friends. We don't work together much anymore, because she went her way with her way of photography, which was young babies, and she loves the whole baby thing. I'm better at 8 months on, 8 months and up.
So do you today still do the whole range, or do you specialize? Because I know you specialize definitely in one thing that we're going to touch on in a minute, but do you do mostly branding, or you do all kinds of photography?
All kinds. I'm not very good at landscape, and I'm not particularly good at product. I do product, but not so much. People and animals.
Okay.
Yeah, and any age, two to 92. Well, actually, to 102. I love photographing old people, actually older people,
Okay.
and I love particularly also people with disabilities and various things that other people find difficult to photograph. I actually find it, I say difficult to, actually they don't often want to be photographed, but and dementia, I photograph quite a few people with dementia as well.
That's a very interesting niche, in the sense that
yes
you need to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it comes from the same place.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Photographing people and just finding out who that person is.
Mm-hmm. And I know as well, there's one thing that you do that I know you mentioned, which is photographing. Is it mostly women or men as well?
I photograph both men and women. I mean, I don't discriminate, but at the same time, I find that it's mostly women.
Okay, and that's for their dating profiles.
So I do date. So I you know how life takes you down pathways randomly, and I started working for an agency, a dating agency, an upmarket one. And what I find there is I'm photographing women and men, but mostly women. And it's because men don't really want to be photographed. Women don't like being photographed, but they realize it's a good thing to do. Mm-hmm. And as part of that, it's about, I go to their house and I spend an hour just working out who they are, talking to them, chatting, photographing, just having a nice time, and making it fun and relaxing. Because if it's not fun and relaxing, then there's no point. Because if you're not having fun, you really won't be photographed well. And it's my job to make. I don't mean I come in and go, come on, you have to have fun. It's about just having a nice time, and getting people to relax. And it's a huge confidence builder when
that's what I was gonna get to.
Absolutely. When you see a good picture of yourself and you realize that actually you're not so bad after all, because we all have a very, very strong the reason shall I just explain why we don't like being photographed from a photographic point of view? When you look at a photograph of yourself, the first thing is you are seeing, in a mirror, you're seeing your reverse reflection. Therefore, when you look at a photograph of yourself, which is actually the correct way round, is how everybody else sees you, you look already a bit out of kilter. To everyone else, you look great, or who you are, unless it's a particularly bad photo. But generally, you are looking at a picture, you're already looking a bit different to yourself. So that's the first thing. It makes us hesitate with how we look. Looking at Zoom is terribly difficult as well, because we are seeing it's very distracting looking at yourself, and so during COVID we all lost an awful lot of confidence in ourselves, because we're looking at ourselves. But when we look at a photograph of ourselves, we look immediately at the things we don't like. Okay. If you look at a picture of 10 people with you in that line, say your big family photo or a big, work photo, the first thing you will look at is yourself critically. Then you will look at everyone else and you will look first at their eyes. You won't register seeing this, but what you're actually doing is you look at their eyes, and then you look at what they're wearing and how they're standing and everything. And you will only decide they look bad if it's a particularly bad angle or photo of them. Generally, we look at ourselves critically and everyone else with reasonable complimentarily. So you look at the other one and goes, you look lovely, oh, you look fab, because that's how they look, because that's what you're used to seeing. But when you look at yourself, I look at myself and I go, oh my God, I hate under here. My nose is too big, my eyes are too small, my lips are too thin, my hair's too grey. That's what I see.
Yeah.
You can say what you see. We just look critically at ourselves, and we don't do that with other people.
So how do you help people to change that mindset? Because obviously, I mean, I know, and I find it very sad. I have some clients that come to me and say, I go on holidays, but I'm in none of the pictures because I just can't. I take the pictures because I don't like seeing myself. How do you overcome that not liking yourself? Do you then say, this is how you need to look at the picture, or is there something else that comes into play?
It comes to two different pronged attacks on this one. The first thing is, that makes me really sad, firstly, if you think about your own parents, or your granny who brought you up, or say, would you like to see a photograph of them? Of course you would. Would you like to have a lovely photograph of them with you, with your parents, or your mother with you as a kid? I mean, of course you would. You wouldn't look at that picture and go, oh my God, she looks fat. Unless obviously she's looking enormous, but oh my God, she looks fat. Oh, she's got grey hair. Oh, she's whatever. I mean, I use the word fat. I know it's improper to use it mostly, but that's how we feel about ourselves a lot. Yeah. A lot of people feel, I'll photograph myself next year when I'm lost weight. You have to try and sort of get over yourself a bit. Particularly if you've got children, you need to have good photographs of yourself. You need to be in the picture for everyone else. They love you. They know what you look like. It's not going to be like a big shock. Oh my God, mommy looks big, or oh my dad, God, daddy's wearing something that doesn't suit. You just want pictures of people you love. So that would be my first thing to say is please be in the pictures just for your kids. It's not for you. It's not for you. Picture of yourself is very rarely for yourself. The picture is for your family or your partner, or other people who love you, or your parents.
What I find interesting as well is when you look back at pictures from a few years ago, then that, oh my God, I looked great. I was fat, and
absolutely.
Now I think, well, actually, I looked great compared to what I looked
absolutely.
Today.
I look at my pictures of my 17-year-old self and go, oh my God, you were beautiful. And yet, all I remember of my 17-year-old self is thinking, what an awful, ugly, greasy head, spotty person I was, And I just think we have to get over ourselves. And though I appreciate, every now and again, I meet people who do have a proper paranoia about being photographed. And if I'm faced with that, I mean, if it's corporate, if I'm doing everybody has to be photographed for their staff pictures, they kind of just have to get on with it. I have a lot of techniques. And so this is the second prong of how being photographed is so important. When you're being photographed, if you are worried about how you look, what happens is the camera faces us, or the phone faces us, and we freeze, or we put on our camera face.
Yeah.
And surprise, we always look really unattractive because we've put on this silly, you've got, your eyes are wide because you're actually feeling nervous, you're holding your breath, your shoulders are up, everything's gone extremely tight with our muscles. And a tense face, most people hold their tension in their jaw. A tense face is quite an unattractive face. And of course, what we're used to seeing is our moving faces. You and I are looking at each other as moving, not you know, the moment you hold anything for too long, it all freezes and looks awful. So,
and it's painful as well.
and it's pain, but it just looks wrong.
Like, you know, for like half an hour or
yeah,
or whatever. I had to stay.
It's awful.
I can't do that.
I genuinely, 99% of the time, never say and smile, you know, and can you just smile? I would never do that, because I need to make you smile, genuinely smile. You know, people say, oh, say cheese. No, I just let's have a bit of, just jump around a bit. So I have a technique, and I'm very, very happy to share my technique to how to look good in photos.
Okay.
If you're all right with that.
Yeah, love it.
Right. It's a pufferfish. So look what happens the second after I do this pufferfish. Okay. So my face is now genuinely, that second afterwards, I was genuinely smiling. Everything was relaxed because I puffed my breath out. I'd relaxed all my facial muscles by doing that. So relaxing facial muscles brings the shoulders down, gets the breath out, and most importantly about a pufferfish, it makes you feel a bit silly.
Yeah, definitely.
So I photograph the second after you've done a pufferfish, then you are in your most relaxed and your eyes are smiling. If your eyes are smiling, going back to what I said right at the beginning, how we look at photos, if your eyes are smiling in a photo, you are literally 3/4 of the way there to looking attractive to everybody else, because your eyes are smiling. And if you cannot fake a smiley eyes. You can fake a smile, but we all know when a smile is not genuine, or what the smile is saying, because of what our eyes are saying. So for me, and you know, I've been doing it a long time now, I find that the pufferfish is the quickest, most effective way of getting anyone to give me a genuine smile. And that works 99.9% of the time. You know, the problem comes if I've got 7 or 8 people in a picture all doing it at the same time, and granddad or actually it's often kind of young man, kind of, you know, the young man will be standing there going, well, I'm not doing a bloody pufferfish, you know, or I'm not going to do something, and at which point I'll just have to embarrass them slightly by, you know, going, come on, if I'm doing it, you're doing it, and make them do it, because then, you know, it's and I won't embarrass, you know, I'll do absolutely my best not to embarrass anyone, but I do want to make people feel just a little bit silly, because that brings us out. You know, it's easier one-to-one, but in a big group I do it all the time. I actually did 32 of heads of European banks. You know, they had their big corporate picture to do. I had 5 minutes to do the shot, and they all came out, you know, they're all chatting, they're all drinking their coffee, they've just had 4-hour conversations, and I was standing there going, right, everybody, you know, just trust me on this, could you all do this? And they're looking at me like I must be mad, but actually the picture of them is brilliant, because they're all laughing and they've all just done this mad thing and thought it was ridiculous, and it's a really relaxed picture of them.
That's lovely. So that's about the face and the shoulders. What about one of the things that I hear a lot, and I know for myself as well, big bums, big legs, big, you know, tummy. What do you do with those?
Absolutely. So put it to the back. I'm going to try and stand up and show. Are you all right if I give you a demonstration?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to move back a little bit. You're not going to be able to see me properly, but very quickly, and I'm not going to be able to show. Right, so I'm going to. Now, I'm wearing a quite slim top here. But if I was standing like this is a bad angle, but if I was standing like this, I would be looking very wide. Okay, this is my widest point. So if I turn slightly, and if I put my weight on my back foot, now you'll be seeing, you can't see what's going on down here, but So obviously I'd give you normally
The
a full length.
movement though, yeah.
But okay, so see what happens. As soon as I'm just putting my weight on, hang on, I'll try and do that. I'm going from this to just putting my weight on my back foot. So this is putting the weight. If you've got a big bum, if you put the weight to the back, you're putting the weight to the back, but you're also creating a shape. Can you see what's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I put my hands like that, I'm looking wide. But if I just go like that and move and create a gap here, now it only needs to be a tiny gap, but immediately it's giving me shape here. Mm-hmm. That's not, that is. Literally tiny bit of air just to give shape to the upper body. I go down now, you know I'm not fat, but I go fairly straight. So for me, putting my weight to the back is creating, it's less about putting my weight, a big bum to the back. It's more about trying to give shape here and here. And that's by moving the body. If it bends, bend it. So bend it to the back. If you put your hands in your pockets, that's a really easy way. You can see exactly what happens. I'm just going to put that way. And it's, you know, it depends on my shape. Now, if I'm very big busted, what I want to avoid is this edge here. So I want to swing back about to about there. Do you see what happens?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that if I was big up here, I wouldn't want to emphasize that. So I'd want to go to about here so that there's not an overlap. It's the same with the face. I've got a big nose, but any nose, you don't want to turn your head beyond where the nose sticks out over the cheek.
Yeah.
Do you see that? I mean, you
just a tiny bit as opposed
to.
So
it's, so you basically want to go slightly.
Mm-hmm.
If it bends, bend it, basically. So if it bends, bend it. So I'm going from straight to bend.
Yeah.
Just gives a really nice shape.
Mm.
Moving on up. Oh, with the legs, by the way, if you're standing with your legs like this, and if there's no gap between them, then your legs will look really, really big.
What do you do when you wear a dress?
Well, with a dress, you just want to make sure that your tips, like, you still do all these things, even in a dress, because what it's about outline. So you turn your leg, you put your legs either one slightly in front of the other, because then that's giving you both slimming you down, or you make sure that you've got a gap between, particularly the gap between, and if it bends, bend it. You know, what I said up here is the same down here. If my legs are like this, that's wide. If they're like that, they'll be going straight down. And if I create a bit of a gap, you know, bend one leg over, it looks really cool if it's a long leg. I mean, it looks longer. No one wants shorter legs. I've never met anyone who said, make me look fatter and shorter. So yeah, so feet are really important. If you're doing a long length shot, it's something really simple. Nobody's ever told me about it. In fact, no, I don't think anyone's ever told me about it. But after years and years of looking at people, if you turn your front foot towards the camera, so this is my foot ankle. If my foot is facing the camera, I have a longer leg. If it's turned away, it's really hard to show. I wonder if I can show you on my feet. But basically, you want to have your foot, as you're standing here with your leg bent, you want your foot, the foot next to the camera, pointing towards the camera, not at an angle to it. And the reason for that is it simply gives you a flowing look, and therefore a longer looking leg. The moment you turn your foot to the side, so if you're standing to the side, your foot naturally obviously goes the way of your body. Just turn your foot towards the camera. Okay. Just, you can see what happens with my hand. Yeah. That looks shorter, that looks longer. It's really basic, but you don't think about it until, you know, it's just me sitting at the step things going, oh my God, they look, you know, that just shortens your leg. So, you know, I'm sure every other professional photographer does it as well, I'm sure. But these things you have to learn as you go sometimes.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Moving on up, when we're listening, we slightly bend. I don't need full Princess Diana look, but just a little. So if it bends, bend it. We've bent at the arm, we've bent at the hips and everything. If we slightly bend, I tend to go this way. It is just a bit more attractive. You can see if I'm standing like this, it's okay. But if I'm like that, it's just a little bit more subtly more welcoming.
Yeah.
More, I'm listening to you. So bending, I mean, this is great. I like, I'm naturally like this. I'll never ask anyone to I'll never say put your hand by your head like this. What I'll say is just put your hand somewhere when you lean on the table and put your hand somewhere, because if you do that naturally like I do, it'll look fine. If it's unnatural, like I don't usually do this, it just starts looking a bit odd. So you have to do what is natural to you.
Feels comfortable, yeah.
And then you'll look comfortable. And yeah, there's lots of little different things to do, but how to look good. But having fun is your best bet. But remember, if it bends, bend it. If it bends, bend it. It works really well.
Okay, so those are all great tips. Anything else you want to add when it comes to, so you mentioned don't do it for yourself, but do it for your family or
someone you love.
Someone you love.
Pictures are for other people, not for you.
And then how to stand and how to pose and how to minimize the shall we call them problem areas? Not really.
Yeah, problem areas to the back. Always problem areas to the back.
Yeah.
Create an angle. And don't worry about it too much is also, but creating air, creating gaps give you much more shape. If you're very large and you always wear those big baggy shirts to hide, I'm gonna say don't. I'm gonna say embrace, go tighter. So this is a top I never used to wear because it's way too tight on me and shows all the bumps, but actually it's much more flattering by create shape. Even if the shape is bumpy, most people's shape are, it's still going to look better. If we're hiding with a big baggy tent top, what happens is the viewer automatically thinks you're hiding more than you are. You know what I mean? You sort of, or just at least try and create, maybe, bring it in. It can be baggy here. And I do understand we all, we have days you just want to hide everything. Just create a bit of a gap with your arms or something when you're, just give a bit of shape. I'm not I'm no fashion director at all. I'm not, I've just had 15 years of looking through a camera at people, but I'm definitely not a fashion person or anything. But I do think create a good shape, slim yourself down. You want to be tighter rather than looser, and create air.
Yeah.
There.
Any tips on double chin?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Gosh, absolutely. Right. So I've got a light here which is above my head, and right. So as we get older, we all get double chins going on under here. And what we sometimes think is, if I do that, that'll be good, because that'll stretch out the neck and that'll make me look like I haven't got a double chin. However, what it also does is make me have no eyes and you're looking up my nose, right?
Yeah.
So if I did that, that would be disgusting, and that also would bring out all the double chins. So we don't do that, and we don't do that. However, if we do that, now what I've done is I've just gone forward and slightly down. So I'm looking at myself as I'm doing it, because normally I do this and I can't see myself doing it. But forward and down, what happens is you can see now the shadow has hit the end of my face. Okay, therefore, and it's also increased my eyes. So the camera, I wouldn't be taking it from below me, I'd be taking it from about here. But immediately if I'm that, you can see no eyes up the nose. If I'm that, everything just looks better. I've got used to sitting like that. I keep my head. I've learned how to.
You're already in that position by default then.
But just imagine almost all light is coming from above. If it's not coming from above, don't be photographed, because you don't want to be photographed light from below. Light coming from above, the sun, daylight coming from above usually, apart from reflections, obviously. So forward and down, slight tilt, so much more attractive. So you go for it. Just go. So slight, because now you're that's it. Slightly forward and slightly down. Give me there we go.
Yay.
Yeah, it hides it. Honestly, it hides the chin and it puts it into shadow, because having an end to your face is really important. Not that immediately the light, the minute I go up here, the light stops about here, and that's so it's sort of disappearing. So forward and down, just it's really little, very subtle changes, but makes a big difference.
Okay, lots of little tips there.
So it's not it's channel your inner turtle. Yeah, channel your inner turtle, not that, just that.
And then you get neck pain from being.
Yes, no, you definitely don't. No, this is a good support for the head. It's really important. I mean, as a photographer, it's very easy to do that, to tilt forward too much, and you should very much sitting up in everything. Going back to healthy, feeling good about oneself, sitting up, keeping your head, which is the heaviest part of you, nicely on your neck, not giving your neck too much strain. It's so important. So important. And looks better. We all look better sitting up.
Any other nuggets of wisdom from that you'd like to impart today? Or
how to look good. I mean, embrace being photographed. This is annoying, when we're holding up our phones, we're doing selfies. Now I understand it's good to have it from above. I've got a bit of a bugbear. So a lot of the younger women particularly do this thing where they're tilting their head. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm holding my phone like this, and they're tilting their head like this. It's not the best look. It's seen as a kind of cheeky, sweet look, but what it's doing is, unless you've got the perfect face and a little button nose or something, it's fine. But all it's doing is creating a very wide area of reflection here. And nose shape. I would always say don't turn so much. Turn and face the camera, and then put your angle in. Better. That's me. I find that really boring.
It's true today. There's lots of selfies being taken, and
and that's great. And the more selfies people have, the better people deal with photos of themselves, and that's great. And young girls are brilliant at makeup, and boys. I shouldn't say girls, but particularly my boys know how to photograph themselves, and not from me, but from, though they do, look at that jaw, you see that? That's the shadow under the jaw. But it's being confident to be photographed is about being confident to be yourself, to be you, and I think that takes a long time, but having a good photo session can really boost your confidence. And we all need a good LinkedIn or a good social media picture. So I would say, yes, do it when you're feeling confident, but don't wait till next year thinking you'll look better. Better this, better that, because that never arrives. You just get the photos done when it comes up, when the opportunity comes.
And I know, although you are based in South London, you travel all over.
Everywhere. I have a portable studio. I come to you. I mean, people can come to me in Richmond, but ultimately I turn my dining room into a photo studio. But I take it to everyone, and I much prefer photographing people when they're in their own environment. It's much easier for changing, putting makeup on, putting extra things on. For kids, it's brilliant because they're in there. We can get them food and do their stuff. and the studio is slightly, it's different enough to make them kind of like, oh, this is exciting, and they'll do, you know, it's fun, but it's still in their own home. So, you know, I find it works for so many people to go to theirs. And, you know, women particularly, if they're wondering what to wear, or, you know, oh, I don't know whether to wear the blue shirt or the red shirt or the dress or the trousers, I can, you know, it's nice to have somebody else's eyes there and go, right, well, let's try both, you know, and let's try 3 different types of things. And have you thought about wearing that? You know, it's easy.
Okay, fantastic. So we're going to put all the details
Thank you.
how to get in touch with you in the comments of the show. Any one best way to get hold of you? I mean, is there a specific channel or email or phone?
See, my website has a contact on it. You can go through that, put in Vicki Sharp, but it's just important to notice that it's Vicki and Sharp with no E, because there are many ways of spelling Vicki and many ways of spelling Sharp. So yeah, you'll find me eventually, or photographer in Richmond, usually I come up. But yeah, luckily I've been in it long enough to be quite findable. I hope.
Oh, that's definitely a good thing for sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It's really nice, and you know, I really appreciate you giving me the time, because I really like to make women feel good about themselves, to look good in photos. It doesn't matter whether I'm taking a picture or not, but you know, with those little tips on how to look good, just experiment. Don't worry about it. Just get out there and be photographed, and ask the people who love you whether they think it's a good photo of yourself. And you know, and they'll be brutally honest, you know,
especially kids.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but you ask them, do they want a picture of you? You know, coming going, mummy, I haven't got a picture of you. It's not great.
No.
And you're the youngest you will ever be today. Just saying.
That's a very good point to finish our conversation today. So thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
I'm looking forward to release the episode very shortly. And for anyone else, if you haven't listened or viewed the previous shows, go and do so as well. Try to get a new episode out once a month. And the next one will probably be in the new year, 2024. Ooh. So have a lovely month, and I'll see you all very soon.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.